Hello, 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 eighth graders. I'm so glad you're here today. Today we're going to talk about symbolism and poetry. So let's get started. All right, our warm up today is give me an example of symbolism. Go ahead and write it in the chat box. Write me an example of symbolism. We're going to go ahead and set that timer for 2 minutes while we wait for your responses. Fun fact of the day, did you know that spiders have 8 eyes just like they have 8 legs? I totally didn't know that. My husband told me that this weekend. I was like, what? And it's so awesome. So I was like, yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. We did our warm up. Woo woo. Good job. We're going to talk about our expectations, state standards, the we can statement. I changed it from I can to we can because we're all working together collaboratively. And I wanted to make it a collaborative effort and encourage one another. We can do this together. An introduction to symbolism and the breakout room. All right, the expectations today. Attend class every time, participate, and be encouraging to one another. I love this picture. It looks like he's like tiptoeing on the daisy there. He's like tiptoe. So I thought that was cool. I wanted to share that with you. All right, our belief statements are as follows. I included little treats, Halloween treats. Happy October again. The beliefs. Usually I have a student read this, but I'm going to go ahead and read it for you today. Beliefs. I am extraordinary. I matter. I am loved. I will learn something every day, even if it's just a little bit. If I don't know something or didn't learn something, it's not my fault. My learning coach, my family, my teacher, and I are a team. Saying what I feel and think and asking questions creates connections, and connections are life. My teachers will never give up on me because they care about me. Yes, we do. We care about you. All right. So, student check in. How are you feeling today? Go ahead and drop it in the chat box 1 to 5. If you're feeling great, give me a 1. Feeling things are pretty good, a 2, a 3. I've got a problem. 4, I'm really upset. And 5, I need some help. Today I was at a 3 this morning. Oh my goodness. I tried to import my PowerPoint into the online platform and it wasn't working and but I'm starting to feel better, thankfully. So what are some things that you can do to feel better when you're having a not so good morning or day? You can ask your teacher, a learning coach, or a friend for help. Create art. That always makes me feel better. Talk with someone, walk your dog, smell the flowers, think about the ocean, listen to music, breathe, get a drink of water, do something kind for a family member. I know when I'm feeling upset or sad, if I do something for someone else, it always cheers me up. Bake bread, yoga, go on a nature walk, or write in your journal, which I'm hoping that you're keeping by now. Those idea journals, I showed you the cereal box covers. I hope you're keeping them. I want to see your lovely poetry. All right. So your participation, how will you participate today? Will you be using the microphone, the whiteboard tools, the chat box, the polling tools? Go ahead and put your name by how you would like to participate today. And of course, you can choose more than one, but I want to see everybody's name on the slide there. Go ahead and use your annotation tool to show us that. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer. Go ahead and set it for 2 minutes and do that. All right, moving on. All right, our standards focus for today. Students will be able to demonstrate understanding of the following. Engage effectively in a range of collaborative discussions, one-on-one in groups and teacher-led, with diverse partners on grade 8 topics, text, and issues, building on others' ideas and expressing their own clearly. And then the second goal is use precise words and phrases, relevant descriptive details, and sensory language to capture the action and convey experiences and events. And we talked a little bit about sensory language, and we're going to continue to talk about that throughout the school year. Awesome. All right, the weekend statement. Do I have any volunteers who can help us with the weekend statement? Uh, all right. So usually you have a student read this, but I'll go ahead and read it for you now. We can, oh, I love this pen, by the way. Isn't it cute? We can write a poem with symbolism. Yes, we can. All right. Symbolism, Spider-Man. The practice of using an object or a word to represent an idea. An action, a person, place, or word can have symbolic meaning. They can also hint at meanings. The two types of symbolism in poetry are metaphor and allegory. All right, so we're talking about elements of voice. We've talked about tone, and today we're talking about diction. And then in the upcoming weeks, we'll talk about syntax and audience. Diction is the vocabulary, phrasing, and grammar of a poem. In essence, it's the word choice, the way words are selected. All right. So why do we use symbolism? Symbolism adds depth to a poem. Symbolism also invites the reader to connect their experiences and knowledge when interpreting. Indeed, symbols have multiple meanings depending on one's point of view. I love this spider. I thought he looked so cool and creepy. All right, so I wanted to talk about omens because you can't talk about symbolism without talking about omens. All right, so an omen is a phenomenon that is believed to foretell the future, often signifying the advent of change. Some omens are universal symbols, while others are unique to one's culture. All right, look at him. Wow, he's super blue, super cool. All right, so let's go ahead and take a fun poll right now. Do you think spiders are scary? A, yikes, yes. B, nope. C, maybe, it depends on their size. Or D, my cat takes care of spiders. Go ahead and drop it in the chat box, or if you have a polling tool, I'd like you to go ahead and use that polling tool. Pick A, B, C, or D. All right, and then we're going to project those polling results shortly. Awesome. All right, we're going to break out into two breakout rooms in just a little bit. I wanted to recap on team roles. We have a captain who leads, a conductor who keeps us on track. Whoop, whoop, get back on track. A scribe who writes down the key points. They're going to be the one using the annotation tools in the breakout room. And a timekeeper that gives the team transition cues. For example, if I gave a 10-minute time limit on an activity in a breakout room, the timekeeper would definitely say the halfway mark and the 1-minute mark to let people know, okay, it's time to wrap this up and we're moving back to the main room. All right, so this is one of the breakout room activities. Animals as symbols. Think, pair, share, ink. I want you to go ahead and put your names, whether you're the captain, conductor, scribe, or timekeeper. Write what you think each animal is as a symbol, what they might mean. So, for example, butterfly, what does that mean to you? Think about that. I want you guys to talk about that. A dog, a dove, an owl, a spider, a raven. I'll go ahead and do number one for an example. Butterflies are a symbol of change and metamorphosis in that they start as a caterpillar and then emerge to a butterfly. I recently had a dream, and it was so beautiful. I had this dream that there was all these little caterpillars, and I was like, "Wow, there's so many caterpillars." And I told my husband about it, and he was so sweet. He said, "Maybe that's you're dreaming about your students, and they're learning, and they're growing, and they're becoming butterflies." And so I thought that was beautiful. I thought I'd share. All right. So, bonus, if you were going to pick an animal symbol to represent you, which animal would you pick? Be ready to share out via the mic. Want to have that open mic time? All right. Now to the next subject, Native American spirit animals. Look at those totem poles. Aren't they beautiful? So they have animals as symbols on the totem poles. A spider is considered a mythical creature in a lot of American folklore, and also is seen as a good creative creature in that it weaves its own destiny, so to speak. I wanted to share that. I thought that was so beautiful. All right. Ugh. So political political symbols. I think we've had so much uh, intake of political symbols, but I just wanted to make that connection for you. We have the political symbols, a donkey for the Democratic Party and the elephant for the Republican Party. All right, those symbols came from a political cartoonist named Thomas Nest. In 1874, he did cartoons, and the political parties adopted those symbols. All right, so let's talk about metaphor. Metaphor is I hope, excuse me, a figure of speech that may not be true. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his act being seven ages. Shakespeare, As You Like It, first performed circa 1603. There's a picture of the Globe, and that is a theater where a lot of the Shakespearean plays are still played today, performed today. So I wanted to share that with you. All right. Let's talk about verses and sentences. We're going to compare and contrast those. Both are units in writing. A verse is a line in poetry. It may or may not be a complete sentence. A sentence is a group of words that conveys a question, command, or statement, or a wish. All right. Then we're going to look at two more vocabulary, compare and contrast. A stanza versus paragraphs. Both stanzas and paragraphs share a space of connected thoughts. A stanza is a unit of poetry, whereas a paragraph is part of a piece of writing that usually deals with one subject. The author indents at the beginning of a new paragraph to let the reader know that a new subject or a new facet will be discussed. All right, I love this picture. Don't you love those pictures of the spiral staircases? There's like a website or Instagram page with lots of spiral staircases from all over the world. And I was just like, oh, that's so cool. Thought I'd share that. All right. The tessellation of smog. All right. What do you think about that spider? Pretty big, huh? All right. Spiders. Spider is the theme today. All right. We have David Bowie, Ziggy, aka Ziggy Stardust. Here's from one of his spider songs. Ziggy played guitar, jamming good with Weird and Gilly. I love it, Gilly. All right, let me start from the beginning. Ziggy playing guitar, jamming good with. Oops, let's try it again. I got too excited and then I just started fumbling over my words. Ziggy played guitar, jamming good with Weird and Gilly and the Spiders from Mars. He played it left hand but made it too far. Became the special man that we were Ziggy's band. Then we were Ziggy's band. All right, I'll read it one more time. Ziggy played guitar, jamming good, Weird and Gilly with Weird and Gilly, and the Spiders from Mars. He played it left hand, but made it too far. Became the special man. Then we were Ziggy's band. All right, it's kind of a tongue twister. All right, Spider. We're gonna read this by Mr. Sel Silverstein. He's one of my favorite poets. I love him because he doesn't take himself too seriously, and he was able to laugh at himself and left a wonderful legacy to many children throughout his books. All right, spider. A spider lives inside my head, who weaves a strange and wondrous web of silken threads and silver strings to catch all sort of flying things, like crumbs of thoughts and bits of smiles and specks of dried up tears and dust of dreams that catch and cling for years and years and years. Mr. Shel Silverstein. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to read another spider poem. I couldn't decide on which spider poem because I like so many of them. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to put that in there. I got to put that one in there. All right, so this one is called The Spider Holds a Silver Ball. It's by Miss Emily Dickinson, and it goes as follows. The spider holds a silver ball in unperceived hands, and dancing softly to himself his yarn of pearl unwinds. He plies from knot to knot in unsubstantial trade, supplements and our tapestries with his in half a period. An hour to rear supreme, his continents of light, then dangle from the housewife's broom, his boundaries forgot. All right, I love that. I love that they bring out that Emily Dickinson talks about the housewife's broom. Um, it's such an ordinary object, but I love that she talks about that. Also, it reminds me of last year when I was at a brick and mortar school and I walked into my classroom and we had spiders and spider webs growing there. I was like, what? And so I grabbed the broom and got rid of those spider webs because I was like, ugh. So the broom is also a tool to get rid of spider webs. But I think it was kind of cool that she wrote that poem about spider webs on the broom. Interesting. All right, this one is by Mary Howitt. It is The Spider and the Fly. Will you walk into my parlor? Said the spider to the fly. 'Tis the prettiest little parlor that ever did you spy. The way into my parlor is up a winding stair, and I have many curious things to show you while you're there. "Oh, no, no," said the little fly, "to ask me is in vain, for who goes up your winding stair can ne'er come down again." All right, now would be a good time for a think, pair, share. If you want to go ahead and talk about this poem, I would love to hear your feedback. Think, pair, share. Set the timer for 3 minutes. Think, pair, share. All right. This is another breakout room activity you can do in your Think, Pair, Share Inc. If you'd like to go ahead and set that for 5 to 10 minutes in a breakout room. Of course, you have your captain, your conductor, your scribe, your timekeeper, and of course, you want to write that date on there. What we've been doing to collect student samples as well is we've been using that snippet tool. So we use that in the breakout rooms to collect student samples as well. So for this one, the students will compare the spider and the fly. So how are the spider and the fly alike? Well, they're alike in that they're both animals, right? Um, but how are they different? So you would just ask prompting questions and help each of your students as a team to discuss the spider and the fly. All right, I love this work of art, Maman by Louise Bourgeois. Borges, Borges, circa 1999. And he is by the Frank Garrity Museum in Seattle. I was there a while ago for a children's authors conference, and it was super fun. I could see the museum from the needle. But anyways, I just love this. Maman means mummy in French. Bourgeois, Bourgeois, that's his name. Louise Bourgeois. I'm part French. I should know that. Anyways, so and I took French in college, but I can't remember too much. I gotta practice more. Anyways, so gotta practice that French. But I love it. He's so like creepy crawly, and I just love how big he is. You can see the scale, the little people walking near him. Look at the house, how small it looks. The apartment buildings, and it's just so magical. I just wanted to include that to share and integrate some of the arts as well. All right, so of course we can't talk about spiders without talking about the itsy bitsy spider. So the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again. All right. Thank you for bearing with me as I sang that song. I used to teach the little ones, so I like to sing with the littles. All right, so we're going to talk about couplet. A couplet is a verse with two rhyming lines. For example, hush, little baby, don't you cry. Mama's gonna sing you a lullaby. Cry and lullaby. And twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Star, R, couplet. All right. Oh my gosh, I made this. I hope you like it for my wonderful 8th graders. Thank you for being awesome. I wanted to give you a choice board. So what I did is I picked two pictures that I thought would inspire poems, collaborative poems about spiders. So we can write a collaborative poem using symbolism. So go ahead and set up your breakout rooms. What I did with my 8th graders is I set up, well, I look at the total number who is attending for the day, and then I divide that up into breakout rooms. And I had about 4 for each breakout room. And then all the odd numbers, I put the smiling spider picture, and the evens, I put the Spider Woman. So, so it worked out good. And what I did is I had the students move themselves into the breakout rooms, so they had that choice of which one they'd prefer to go in. I'm trying to offer more choice in my virtual teaching as well. When I taught at the brick and mortar school, often I would give a lot of choices. So I'm trying to integrate that practice into my virtual teaching as well. All right, so the collaborative poem, and then the kiddos would just, I would like, what I liked for them to do is to go ahead and use their annotation tools and go ahead and collaborate, use our mics and talk. So this one's called Smiling Spider by Odilon Redon, circa 1881. Oh, and then I say, why is he smiling? And then he's like sideways on his tippy toes. What's going on? All right. And then you see Spider Woman by Katrin Weisstein, circa 2015. Oh my gosh, her art is amazing. I love her art. It's so cool. Think, pair, share. Lots to inspire a poem there. All right, and then you can't talk about spiders without talking about Boris the Spider, one of the songs from The Who. Look, he's crawling up my wall, black and hairy, very small. Now he's up above my head, hanging by a little thread. Boris the Spider, Boris the Spider. Now he has dropped onto the floor, heading for the bedroom door. Maybe he's as scared as me. Where he's gone now, I can't see. Boris the Spider, creepy crawly, creepy crawly, creepy, creepy crawly, crawly, creepy, creepy crawly, crawly. Creepy, creepy, crawly, crawly, creepy, creepy, crawly, crawly. There, he is wrapped into a ball. Doesn't seem to move at all. Perhaps he's dead. I'll make sure pick up this book off the floor. Boris the Spider, Boris the Spider, creepy, crawly, creepy. All right, lots of repetition in that song, and we're going to talk about more repetition in poetry as well. All right. And the ticket out the door, whoop whoop. I want you to go ahead and write that whoop whoop. Um, your wish, your writing wish for this quarter, what kind of outcome you would like to see, any obstacles that may be in the way, and your plan. All right, thanks for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Do something kind for your family, and we'll see you next time. Bye.